Following from the previous example, we are going to create a new object with its properties and be able to access and modify those properties. There are two ways of accessing object properties. For example, once an object is created, you need ways to modify its content. So there are two ways to do this. Number one, using dot notation. This is where you know the exact name of the property at the time you're writing the code. Number two, bracket notation, which is really not that different from the dot notation, as we'll see in the example. Okay. And property name is a valid JavaScript identifier. So for example, let's get started. We are starting with the keyword const, and our object this time will be car. Using the same syntax, we'll use curly braces. This time we are using the same key and the value. Okay, we'll use brand. What will be the brand? Really, I would say Range Rover. Okay, because it's a string, comma, and then the brand will have the model. Let me just keep this lowercase. The model is also Range Rover Sports. So the brand, the model, and then we'll have the color is also a property. String, have black. And then we will have the year, maybe 2000, because it's a number, we'll not use the strings. And then what else? Owner. Owner will be Judith. If that's the right spelling. What type of a fuel it uses? Fuel type. Let's say it's a string, it will be petrol. Okay. So let's write 2 or 3 methods to just remind ourselves. So let's say one of the methods will be drive and another will be start. Okay, so we say start using parentheses, and then this, we said this is basically like a function inside an object is called method. So what will happen here? We console log. Log console log. So we'll use backticks, and we're gonna say this car we'll say this, we'll use dollar, and then we'll say car.brand. We say has started. Something is wrong. Okay, could use this. Okay, the backticks should not end here. Should be here. We could write another method, which is drive. Okay, sorry. Same, we use backticks, then we say the car vodka the dollar car dot brand Okay, let me say Judith is the owner and she is driving. What's wrong here? Okay, Judith is the car dot model driving. So there is a comma here. Okay, we are expecting a comma on the previous method, so we are going to be calling these methods. So we'll say car dot start and then car dot drive. We'll need to see an output before we can proceed. It will be node objects.js. So this Range Rover sport has started. This Range Rover sport is driving. So this what basically means, let me let the brand be Range and then the model Range Rover and then the model Sport, so that we don't have duplicate of words. Okay, so it will be this Range Rover Sport has started, this Range Rover Sport is driving. So it's giving us the brand name and also the model. Yeah, so we need to, let's say we need to update the owner Judith to some other name. What will we do? So we'll say car dot owner, we assign it to the new owner, which is let me say Mercy. So we are going to say I'm going to console.log, and inside there we call the properties of the car, all of them. Okay. So the owner has now updated to Mercy, as you can see. We've updated. So let's say we need to delete the year. So we use the delete keyword, delete car dot year. We shouldn't see the year. Okay. So you see, the year should be after the color black, like it was before. You see black and then the year. When we delete it, the color, there is no year, there is Mercy. Okay. What else to do? Let's say we need to add another property, a completely new property. Like let's say this car the model was created or came out in 2000, but then it was bought in 2004. So we're gonna say car dot bought or sold. Let's see. We assign it 2004. Okay. So we'll see this. We should see the property sold. Okay. So we've added a completely a new property which is sold here. That's it. That's how to modify properties. Like here we've updated, and here deleted, and then here new property, and then that's how you can modify. And display is basically like, for example, what we did here is to display or to read all the properties that are available here. Like you can see them. Okay. That's basically it, how to access JavaScript properties using the dot notation. So there was another way. We had a dot notation and also the bracket notation. So for the bracket notation, just a minute. I'm trying to see what I can do with the dot notation. For example, if we wanna see just we wanna output one property, So we say console dot log, then we say car dot what property do we want to see? Maybe color. Okay, color. So after the properties with the keys, we should be able to see color after this. Let me drag this. We should be able to see after sold, we should be able to see black. Okay, here is the black color. So but using the bracket notation, it's gonna be console dot log, we'll say car, and then we use the square brackets, we use the quotes, but this time we need to output the, let's look for another property. We need to output the model. You see, model. So after black, we should be able to see spots, because our model, the value of our model is spots. You see? Yeah, it's all done. It's all done. I hope you've learned something. That's how we manipulate JavaScript properties, okay, using object literal syntax, yeah, and accessing them. That's how it's done from here. Yeah.